Jose, without identifying who you are, I wouldn't ask it. I have gone on your website. It's very interesting indeed, and I won't read it out until you're ready, at another time. You, just briefly, though, you did have deep experience on the left, correct?
That's correct.
And you're of the opinion that Obama is not going to be an FDR type of, let's say, liberal Democrat socialist blend. He's going to be something far more deadly. Is that correct?
That is correct. Senator Obama is the crown king, by their own words, the one we have been waiting for. Those are the exact words of, among others, I can remember the name of the extreme left-winger, the writer of The Color Purple. And this is a movement that has been percolating for over 30 years, and they are all interconnected. Mr. Bill Ayers, and I will give you off the air a contact from a high officer in American intelligence for you to verify this, okay? I'm not going to tell you on the air. Bill Ayers was working with the Venceremos brigades. That was the volunteers that used to go to Cuba.
In Cuba, sure, I know who they are.
He had a code name that was given to him by Cuban intelligence, and his name, it was Delgado. He was the recruiting bridge to take members of the Weather Underground to Cuba.
Jose, I'm laughing because it's as though I'm speaking to it's like a psychic connection, you and I. Is that what you're talking about, Jose?
That's one of the things that we have to look for. Look, 10 years ago, Chavez came to power exactly almost the same conditions, promising all kinds of changes. Slowly, bit by bit, now we are to a point where Chavez dared to attempt to rewrite the Constitution. Thank God that the Venezuelan people, especially the young people, know better, and he was defeated. But still, in the current Constitution, which he had something to do with, is something called the enabling laws, which gives him the power to write laws by decree. The Constitution that he wanted to impose had over 300 different articles full of government-given rights. And in this habilitating or enabling laws, he has actually passed a decree eliminating the National Constitutional Army to turn it into a political militia. Before he did...
You mean along the lines of Hitler's SA, the brown shirts, isn't that true?
But yes, but the reason he was able to do that is because he has bought 100,000 AK-47s from Russia for these National Civilian Defense Force, which is...
Let's pause right here. Will Obama try to seize guns? My answer is no. That would be too overt. These are very clever stealth Marxists. That's the last thing they're going to do because they won't have to do it for the first 2 or 3 years. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I agree with that, but he has also said that he doesn't have to do that. He said this. He said that is up, that we do not need to do that constitutionally. You don't even have to bother with that because at the local level, you could do it through civic ordinances and local ordinances.
You're saying seize guns through civic ordinances, and not he wouldn't even challenge it at the Supreme Court level. Jose, look, you're a savage sage.